Why, hello everybody, and welcome to the Truly Odd podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I am your host, Joe Garcia. So grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's go ahead and dive right on into these topics, shall we? Starting with our game news topics. And our first game news topic of the day is regarding Marvel Rivals player count surges after its Halloween update, now that they've included their new PvE mode with zombies. Let's go ahead and take a look here at this article from Game Rant. So, the Halloween update introduced the PvE co-op zombie mode featuring undead bosses like Namor and Queen of the Dead, helping the Steam player count reach about 120,000 players. So it's doubled. It was originally around the 60,000, so it's doubled to 20,000, and it's pretty awesome that a game like this could very much evolve into something that is not only including PvE, but the things that can expand to over time. I haven't played it. I'm probably going to check it out today or tomorrow when I have the opportunity, but it's definitely something that's very interesting, especially when it comes to zombies, because I know a lot of fans are fans of zombie modes, whether it's Call of Duty or whether it's other games. Excuse me, guys. I'm getting emails here. Let me put this on mute. Sorry about that. Anyways, players can earn free cosmetics, including Blade Knight skin, by completing the missions in the Voyage of Estonia event. Voyage to Astonish event, which runs until November 13th. So yeah, guys, I just think it's really good what they're doing here with this Marvel Rivals game and introducing new game modes. Having free skins and stuff like that is very, very awesome. Now, again, I've kind of fallen off on Marvel Rivals, but I will have to pick it up to check out the zombies mode. But let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below. Do you think if they continue to do updates like this, they're going to maintain their player count moving back up to 120? Now, mind you, that is only on Steam. We haven't seen the PlayStation numbers or Xbox numbers. I'm sure that'll come out sometime later, but I'm very interested to know what the overall number increase was for them introducing this new game mode. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. All right, let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic of the day is regarding Battlefield REDSEC Battle Royale mode sets a shadow drop for October 28th across all platforms. Now, I want you to take that with a grain of salt, and I'll explain why in a bit. But let's go ahead and take a look here at this article from Game Informer. EA and Battlefield Studios confirms that Battlefield REDSEC, a free-to-play battle royale mode for Battlefield 6, will be unveiled. Will have an unveiled via gameplay trailer on October 28th at 8 a.m. PT and 11 a.m. ET, with a surprise launch strongly implied. So, no guaranteed that we're going to be getting it tomorrow, but definitely we're going to be getting a trailer tomorrow. Now, what the date on that release, we don't know as of yet. A lot of people are assuming it will be shadow dropped as the trailer is released. I think we talked about this last week on Friday, how people thought it was going to be shadow dropped because of some files on the game. We're saying that there's going to be a new mode that's going to be introduced on October 28th. Now, I don't know if it will happen. We'll have to wait and see. So if it does happen tomorrow, then I'll just say I was wrong, because I had assumed that they were going to do a marketing push before they launched it. But if they do just do this trailer and then I'll launch it maybe sometime in November, which I think is going to be the case, then we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. But let's continue some information. After leaked dates back in July, the gameplay footage surfaced in September. The long-rumored mode is finally acknowledged, featuring classic Battlefield elements like destructible environments, and gritty combat. Initially tested through Battlefield Labs program, REDSEC is expected to drop across PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, marking a major addition to Battlefield 6 Season 1 content rollout. Now, mind you, still not guaranteed it's going to actually drop tomorrow. No one has said. There are some articles saying that it will drop tomorrow, but there has not been a official confirmation. Now, since my recording of this, there might have been, but I'm recording this at like 11 a.m. and I have not seen anything saying that it is official as of yet. So you guys are just going to have to let me know what ended up happening as we go along. But let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below. Are you guys excited for the Battlefield Battle Royale, whether it's going to drop tomorrow or whether it's going to drop sometime later? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic of the day is regarding God of War multiplayer revealed. Not really though. It was more leaked images from a God of War multiplayer reveal that Bluepoint was working on until they shifted over to a new project, a new action project, which people are still assuming is a God of War remastered game. So let's go ahead and take a look here at some of this imagery. Bluepoint unveiled God of War multiplayer game featuring Greek-inspired environments, a scrossed armor-like Link to Hades. I don't remember seeing that armor. Hold on. Overlook it. No, maybe it's not part of this leak. I think it's funny. I do that sometimes where I just write shit down and I don't really look for it. I'm like, oh, it must be there. Anyways, some armor set I guess was leaked as well, but was shelved due to. But the project was shelved due to concerns on live service viability because they were having issues with a lot of their live service game over at PlayStation, and I'm sure it was something that they didn't want to continue to focus on because live service games at PlayStation, especially with Concord, which they will never live down, has been the big cause of a lot of these issues here. But these images are absolutely gorgeous. The art style is awesome. I'm curious to know what engine that they worked on. This seems to be possibly Unreal, but I don't know if they've said exactly what they used to create these environments, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. And a lot of these I'm noticing not only Greek inspired, but I'm also noticing some Norse influences here too. Probably because they're trying to connect it to the game overall. Now, I'm very curious as to if this was going to be, you play as Kratos, or you play as a Spartan warrior, or you play as one of the gods and fight each other. I don't know what this was going to be. So I'd be very curious to know and find out. But I'm hoping Bluepoint shifts focus to actually doing a remaster of the God of War games. A lot of players were hoping for that. Now, my assumption is that this game was, excuse me guys, I'm adjusting my mic here. But my initial assumption was that this game was probably being developed for the 20th anniversary of God of War, which I have the controller right here. So, with the 20th anniversary of God of War that was set to come out this year, I'm assuming that this game was originally being developed for this drop. But since they had to cancel the game, and here's the actual controller right here, guys, which, I mean, I'm in love. And you know what's funny? I thought it was white, but it's actually ash, kind of how his skin was with the ash of his family. Sorry, I'm nerding out over this dumb shit. I'm nerding out over that dumb shit. Sorry. Anyways, moving on. So I'm assuming that that's what the point was, to have it drop on the 20th anniversary, but since it got canceled after the Concord drama, they probably shifted to more of a remake or a remaster of the original game. So we're going to have to wait and see what ends up happening there. It's probably still going to be a couple years since they had to revamp, but they are currently working on a different action game that a lot of people are currently a third person melee action game, which a lot of people are assuming is a God of War remaster, but we'll have to wait and see what happens at the end of the day. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Are you hoping that Bluepoint Games is making a remaster? Are you hoping that they can shift back to a God of War multiplayer game at some point? Me personally, I don't feel God of War needs to be multiplayer at all. They failed with the God of War Ascension multiplayer aspect, so they just need to focus on the story and retelling it. And if they remaster the original 3, phenomenal. That's all they need to focus on. And if they're absolutely fucking ballsy, they'll also include the PSP games. So hopefully they end up doing that. We'll have to see. Anyways, let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic of the day is regarding Microsoft's next-gen Xbox will be a console/PC hybrid capable of playing PlayStation exclusive games, according to this article. Let's go ahead and take a look here at IGN. They say that this is going to be able to play God of War and Spider-Man because the console is going to be a hybrid and it's going to be able to run Steam. And that's where we're going to see a lot of the PlayStation exclusives being played on Xbox. Anyways, Microsoft's upcoming Xbox, set for a 2027 release, will function as both a console and full Windows PC, allowing access to Steam titles including PlayStation exclusives like God of War, Spider-Man, and Ghost of Tsushima, as well as games from Battle.net and Riot. Xbox President Sarah Bond described the device, as a very premier, very high-end, curated experience, alongside with Microsoft's broader strategy for platform flexibility across across devices, gaming as seen on Asus ROG Ally X, which I don't know how that's doing. We'll have to find an update on that soon. Anyways, Microsoft continues its move towards traditional exclusives. Microsoft continues to move away from traditional exclusives, poising the next gen Xbox as a universal gaming hub rather than a locked ecosystem. So, guys, if this is true, these are the exclusive that Xbox are going to be able to play. Xbox players are going to be able to play on Steam if they do that cross-function hybrid, whatever console they're going to do. So let's go to Steam here, and here are the current PlayStation exclusives that you'll be able to play. Now, I don't know about this one here. I've never heard of this one, so let's just knock that one. But a lot of these other ones, from The Last of Us, Spider-Man 2, to Horizon, Until Dawn, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, probably Ghost of Yotei will eventually come to this at some point. Horizon, Helldivers, which, I mean, that's not exclusive anymore. Ratchet and Clank, Returnal, Miles Morales, Sackboy, the Uncharted collection. Is it the collection? Long Thieves collection. Anyways. So yeah, Days Gone. So this is a great list of exclusive PlayStation's titles if you've never played PlayStation games before or had exclusives. So if you play on Steam, I would recommend trying out some of these games. I very much enjoy Days Gone, and don't even get me started with God of War. You guys already know I'll talk about that shit all day. But the point being is that, yeah, you'll be able to play exclusives, but I want you to understand something about these exclusives. These exclusives don't drop until years later, guys. They don't come out when the game comes out. So I don't know. Let's see. Let's use Days Gone. So Days Gone came out on April 26, 2019, and it didn't drop on Steam until May 17th, 2021. So about 2 years later. Okay? Let's look up one more example, shall we? Let's look up not the Spider-Man remaster. What's a good example? What's a more recent game we have here? I think a more recent one would be Spider-Man 2, right? That's what I would assume. Spider-Man 2, PS5. Let's look up the release date. Spider-Man 2 PS5 release date was on October 20th, 2023, and Steam didn't get it till January 30th, 2025 this year. So again, about a year and a half, we'll say. So if you want exclusives for PlayStation Day 1, it's still best that you get it on PlayStation. You probably won't see Ghost of Yotei on here for at least another year. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, that's basically what I want you guys to know. So don't assume, like a lot of these articles are saying, that, hey, you're going to be able to play PlayStation exclusives. It won't be Day 1 exclusives. It'll have to wait till they come to Steam. They're not going to be coming to Xbox. At least not that I know of as of right now. We're going to have to wait and see what happens in the future once they stop completely with their exclusive, which is going to lead us into our next topic of the day and our last topic of the day. And everyone was talking about it over this weekend, but I don't do shows on the weekends. I enjoy my time with my family. So our last topic of the day, and probably the biggest topic of the day, everyone was talking about it. It's kind of old news at this point, but Halo Campaign Evolved, which is Halo Combat Evolved, a remake of the story, is coming to PS5. Let's go ahead and take a look here, guys. So Halo Campaign Evolved, which was made in Unreal Engine 3, Unreal Engine 5, my apologies, it's exciting to see that they're developing it like that. This is going to look absolutely phenomenal. If you guys haven't seen the trailer, I highly recommend you guys check it out. But Halo Campaign Evolved fully remakes the original Halo Combat Evolved in Unreal Engine 5 with re-recorded voice acting, enhanced visuals, and gameplay updates like ADS, sprinting, expanded weapons and vehicle options. The campaign support 2-player split screen and a 4-player online co-op for the first time, and introduces 3 new lore-friendly missions featuring Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson before the original story. So we get a little bit of a prequel story, which is going to be really cool. For the first time, Halo is coming to PlayStation with crossplay and progression. Amid rumors of AI used in development, Halo studios emphasize the creative work, remake, blah, 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 blah. Humans are working on it, whatever. We're not using AI that way. It's for the workflow, all that bullshit that they're saying. But this is fucking awesome because we're going to be able to play this. The fact that it's awesome is not that it's coming to PS5. It's the fact that we're getting a remake. But having it be on PS5 is a little cherry on top of everything. And it really, really marks. I used to tell this to my brother Timmy, who he basically used to say Halo will never come to PlayStation. And then I told him, I was like, the minute Halo comes to PlayStation, Xbox lost. They're no longer a console. It's no longer a console war. They're no longer going to be a console competitor. They're basically going to be a game developer at that point. And as of right now, that's what this is. This is them becoming a game developer for PlayStation, for Nintendo, for PC, you know, not just Xbox exclusives. If this was an Xbox exclusive, I think this game alone would sell consoles. Absolutely. Like if they held on to this game till the release of their new Xbox till 2027, maybe enhanced it, maybe added multiplayer to it, to really get it there to the, just instead of combat campaign evolved, it was combat evolved, you know, or complete remake with multiplayer and everything. If they held on to it to the next gen console and made it exclusive, that would have sold Xboxes right then and there on the fucking spot, because people would have loved to have replayed this game. But now they're gonna miss out on a lot of money because of it, because it's going to be coming to PlayStation 5, which, I mean, hey, I'm happy about. It's going to be in a blue case where it belongs, as I used to tell my brother all the time. So that's just sad to see that this happening, but I mean, hey, it is what it is, and I'm excited to play the game on PlayStation. Me and him have already made a bet that when the game comes out, we're both going to buy it and play the campaign on Legendary difficulty and try to beat it all the way through. We'll probably get two of our other friends to join us so we can play it, 4-player campaign, try to beat Legendary difficulty. We'll see what ends up happening. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Are you excited for Halo Campaign Evolved, whether it's on PC or PS5? And how do you guys feel about Xbox's future now that we're going to be getting probably all their exclusives now coming to PlayStation 5? Let me know. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our... Oh, no, sorry, that does it for our video game news topics of the day. We're going to go ahead and move over to our movie news topics. And our first movie news topic of the day is going to be talking about the weekend box office. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Coming in at number 1, we got Chainsaw Man, the movie, coming in at $17.25 million. Now, mind you, these aren't the actuals. These are the temporaries, but they're always very close to what these numbers end up being anyways. Excuse me, guys. We have Black Phone coming in at number 2 with another $13 million. Pretty successful. A typical 50% drop, which is good for that film. I think it started off pretty good, if I'm not mistaken. Coming in at number 3, we got Regretting You at $12.85 million. I'm very surprised that it made this much money. It's a bit of a rom-dram, I guess you can say. I watched it with my lady this weekend. Pretty good movie. Highly recommend it if you guys like dramatic, feel-good, family, romantic movies, I guess. Anyways, coming in at number 4, you got Spring Teen, Deliver Me from Nowhere, never heard of it, coming in at $9.1 million. We got Tron Ares dropping really fast with $4.9 million. I'm sure Disney's very disappointed in that movie. We have Good Fortune coming in at $3.1 million. Now, I don't know what the budget for Good Fortune is, but it's not doing very well overall. And then we got the debut of YouTuber Chris Stuckman's film, Shelby Oaks, coming in at only $2.35 million. Now, I know this was mostly crowdfunded on Kickstarter, so I'm not sure how the back-end finances really did. So I would call this an overall success. It still got to do its full run, and then probably do even better on streaming when it comes. So we're going to have to see what ends up happening overall. But I would love to see his next film. Overall, I think the film was pretty decent. Anyways, One Battle After Another with $2.3 million. Roofman with another $2 million. And at number 10, Truth and Treason at just $933,000. All right, guys, what stands out to you? For me, what stands out is it seems anime is really just making fucking awesome debuts here at the in the theaters, guys. I mean, $17 million. Now, mind you, I know it's not big like $200 million weekends like we get with the MCU movies or anything like $100 million films, but still $17 million for just anime, and a lot of people think that that's just a niche market. This just goes to show that there's a lot of anime fans out there and people are interested. Black Phone 2, now mind you, I didn't like it as much as the original, but I think it's good. I think it's still a low budget horror film, so it's coming in at around the $50 million mark is pretty good for the studio, if I'm not mistaken, especially what they did. And Regretting You coming in at number 3. Not bad, actually. Now, I don't know what the budget for this one is, but it is a drama romance movie, so, not expecting too much of a high budget for a film on this sort. It doesn't seem like it could have been too expensive to film it, and the actors aren't, while they're serviceable and great actors, there's no one standing out. There's no Dwayne The Rock Johnson here to take away a big chunk of the budget. So I'm sure that they did phenomenal there as well. So good for them. But the big story here, of course, is going to be Tron Ares just not really doing that well worldwide, currently at $123 million. I'm sure that's very disappointing because I think they spent nearly $150 million on this film. So it's probably going to be a bomb for them when it's all said and done. But let me know what you guys thought of the weekend box office. Did anything stand out to you? Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our next movie news topic. And our next movie news topic is regarding a survivor horror game is going to be getting a film adaptation in Finding Freddy. Let's go ahead and take a look here. I never heard of this game, so let me know what you guys think of this game, if it's any good. Sean Robbins, 13 Films, and So It Goes Entertainment are producing a movie based on the video game Finding Freddy, with Stephen C. Miller directing and scripted by Corey Todd Hughes and Adrena Spackard? Adrena Spackard? I hope I'm saying that right. Anyways, the film blends Squid Game's intensity with Five Nights at Freddy's era eerie tone, set in a neon lit world featuring game icons like Henry Highlight, Freddy, and Deputy Duck. Forgive me, guys, I'm stumbling through this at the moment. But yeah, I've never heard of this game, never played it, so I'm just very curious how this is going to end up turning out. And it's interesting seeing how horror game adaptations are really starting to come to the forefront. I think that's because horror films are very low budget, and the popularity of horror games is very present with Five Nights at Freddy, with Until Dawn, and now Finding Freddy, which I've never heard of personally. So I'm very curious how this is going to turn out and what it's going to end up being like. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Are you guys excited for this video game movie adaptation? And what do you guys think of the game? Have you played it? All right, guys. That being said, let's go ahead and move over to our next movie news topic. And our next movie news topic of the day is regarding Cinemark is adding 70mm IMAX screens ahead of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So, Cinemark will add 3 new IMAX 70mm full projected systems and 4 IMAX with laser systems in the US, while upgrading 12 existing screens to IMAX with laser technology. The upgrade will be completed before July 17, 2026, release of the July 17, 2026 release of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, the first film shot entirely in IMAX film, with new 70mm locations including in Chicago, Colorado Springs, and Rochester. Rochester? That one. Anyways, guys, and let's see what else here. The move reflects the growing audience interest in immersive format driven by directors like Nolan and Denis Villeneuve, aligned with Cinemark's strong strategy to offer high quality cinematic experiences. So, guys, I think this is very interesting that a movie specifically, like a Christopher Nolan movie, can influence what theaters are going to be doing. Now, it does make sense. It benefits the theaters in the long run. It's a good investment because not only do you have the IMAX screen, you get to charge more for the IMAX screen. It's a better visual and stuff like that, and people get to enjoy bigger and better movies on these IMAX screens. That's one aspect of it. But the other aspect is to have a director on Christopher Nolan's. He's basically close to the modern day Spielberg, and what I mean by that is I don't think he's on the caliber of Spielberg just yet as far as directing. And I think that's only because Steven Spielberg has directed everything. He's done drama, horror, everything in between. You name it, he's done it. Whereas Christopher Nolan makes Christopher Nolan's film. He's more of a Quentin Tarantino when it comes to that. But he has a lot of influences. That's what I'm saying. Spielberg had so much influence back in his day and still does to this day. Whereas Christopher Nolan is now the new person getting that influence. So much so that he's influencing theaters to really put in IMAX screens so they can screen his movie that has been completely filmed in IMAX, and that's wild and pretty fucking awesome if you ask me. And I'm very excited to see it. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Are you located in any of these areas? Are you happy that Cinemarks are going to be bringing them some 70mm IMAX screen? I might have to wait another couple weekends till there's actually some damn tickets for this movie and actually see it in a true IMAX screen over probably in Irvine, which is probably the closest true IMAX screen to me, I think. Or that, or it's in Ontario. One or the other. Anyways, but let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. All right, guys. That being said, let's move over to our next movie news topic. And our next movie news topic is regarding Matson Tolman still pursuing a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4 film. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So it looks like Spider-Man 4 is still trying to be in the works with this writer. The Batman 2 co-writer, Matson Tolman, I think I'm saying it right, is actively pitching a Spider-Man 4 script featuring Tobey Maguire as a married father, continuing the story of Sam Raimi's original trilogy. While Tolman acknowledged the complex studio politics involved, he confirmed he has not received a definitive no, suggesting the idea remains alive. With Maguire's cameo, I don't think it was a cameo, he had a role. With Maguire's role in No Way Home, the MCU embraced the multiverse story. Fans are hoping for a dual Spider-Man narrative alongside Tom Holland's coming arc and Brand New Day. And they're also hoping to see either Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars. Let's not forget that as well. So I think this is awesome because just knowing that someone is trying to keep a movie like this alive is really, really phenomenal because, you know, Spider-Man 3 was not a great movie, and they kind of, everyone knows the backstory where they kind of forced Sam Raimi to work on characters he didn't really want to work on when it came to Venom. So to see Sam Raimi possibly return, to see Tobey Maguire possibly return, to see Kirsten Dunst possibly return to a fourth movie and get that story going, and then having the audience accept that this is so many years later, and then we get Mayday Parker probably and so many other things. I think it could be phenomenal. Maybe we can actually get dang it, who was gonna play the Vulture in the other one? It's damn it, what's his name? God, it's gonna bother me now. He's in Red. He was supposed to be in the Fantastic Four movie that just came out, but they cut him. John Malkovich, that's it. So maybe we can get John Malkovich actually come in and be the Vulture. Maybe we can get the original actor who was voicing the Professor actually play the Lizard. There's so many ways they can go with a movie like this. Maybe we can see Mayday Parker actually come across her powers. Now he's trying to balance being a father and being a superhero and teaching his daughter how to handle her powers. There's just so many ways that they can go with a movie like this, and hopefully they end up doing it. But I'm just excited that there's still some possible life left in this franchise when it comes to the original Spider-Man trilogy. Because Tobey Maguire, I think, was a great Peter Parker, not the best Spider-Man, but seeing what he did in No Way Home really just made you more interested in seeing further stories with him and also Andrew Garfield. So hopefully, if this happens, we also could possibly get an Amazing Spider-Man 3 movie and really have these last movies with a Spider-Man 4 and an Amazing Spider-Man 3 just really have a nice ending for these characters that we never truly got. Now, No Way Home, I guess you can say that is now their official ending, but if we get an entire movie for their ending, I think that would also be amazing. So we'll see what ends up happening. I'm going to keep my eyes out on this story, and hopefully we get it coming to fruition. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Would you guys like to see a Spider-Man 4 from the Sam Raimi trilogy and Tobey Maguire's return, or do you guys want them to move on to bigger and better things? Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys. Moving over to our last movie news topic of the day. And our last movie news topic of the day is regarding Steven Soderbergh says that Kathleen Kennedy told him that Disney has never turned down a completed Lucasfilm script before Star Wars The Hunt for Ben Solo. So we've been talking about this a lot lately. I'm going to remind you guys of some things right now, but let's go ahead and read some of the details. Steven Soderbergh revealed that Disney refused to greenlight The Hunt for Ben Solo, marking the first time in the studio marking the first time the studio has rejected a completed Lucasfilm script, according to Kathleen Kennedy. Following the film's cancellation, fans chartered a plane with Save the Hunt for Ben Solo banner flying over Disney Studios and launched a petition with over 3,700 signatures demanding its revival. So that's what's going on. But the big story here and the big detail here is the fact that they had the first script ever be denied and a completed script nonetheless. So that means that this script, of course, there's going to be revisions. That's just how the process works as things go on. Maybe they have better ideas and stuff like that. But the fact that you had a completed Star Wars script that was rejected for the first time, basically ever, is wild. Like, absolutely wild. And I know they cited it on, oh, Ben Solo died, so it's hard to bring him back. And that is just not true. Look at what happened with the fucking Emperor. The Emperor died a long ass time ago, and now somehow he returned. They don't even explain it. The explanation of him was turning is, the dark side has ways you wouldn't understand or some bullshit. I forgot the line that he says is. You could do the same thing with Ben Solo, bring him back and him trying to find the way, whatever the fuck the movie was going to be. But I just find it very curious that they ended up doing this. And I think it just shows just how bad Star Wars was during the time they canceled this film, where fans weren't interested in Ben Solo. Fans weren't interested in Rey. Fans weren't interested in the story being told. Fans weren't even interested in one of the best characters having his own solo film and Solo, a Star Wars story. That's how much Disney had just put a stink on Star Wars at the time. Now, I'm not saying that they couldn't have come back. A great Star Wars movies can revitalize the franchise and bring it back. But it's going to take some time to get there and to do so. Especially with a great example and a crazy example is the Star Wars prequels. A lot of people dislike them very much so. And they talk crap to George Lucas, which didn't make him make his next trilogy, which he put on hold, and ended up making him sell the franchise off to Disney. And then Disney does this, and now they love the prequel story. So the fans are bipolar about it anyways. So I'm sure eventually they'll get to that point. But Star Wars has been on hold for quite some time. Even with the Mandalorian Grogu and the Starfighter movie, they're very, very much stepping away from the Skywalker-esque aspect of it. And I'm very curious as to when they're going to go back to it. And I think a movie like The Hunt for Ben Solo could get them back to the Skywalker saga era, or not saga, but the Skywalker saga movies, and really focus on that story. But we'll see what ends up happening. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Would you like them to revitalize this script? Are you shocked that it's the first ever completed Star Wars script that completely got denied? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All right, guys. That's a wrap for today's episode of the Truly Odd Podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. And always remember, guys, stay true, be odd.